pleasant evening here in St. Louis at Worldwide Technology Soccer Park. It's soccer night in St. Louis as St. Louis FC plays host to FC Montreal. Hello again, everybody. I'm Bob Ramsey alongside my partner, Bill McDermott. And Bill, the theme remains throughout this season. St. Louis FC, a team that's picked up points 2 of their last 3 games, yet are desperate for not just points, but wins at home here at Marshall Wireless Field.
And those, Bob, especially this time of the year, are imperative. After tonight, there are 7 games left, 4 away, 3 at home. The key point about those games, every team you're playing is above you in points. There's another vital game this evening. Richmond is at Harrisburg. St. Louis has 2 games up on Harrisburg. Harrisburg's only played 18 to St. Louis's 20. So this could really loom large. But as Dale Schilling has told me, after the game last Sunday night, in which they lose to the Red Bulls on the road in the 92nd minute, the team, justifiably so, was shattered. An inexcusable loss on the road, especially the way you had dictated the pace somewhat. Dale told me that during the course of a game, if you have 150, 148 passes, somewhere in that ballpark, you could dictate the pace. First half, they had 148 passes. They thought they were dictating the pace. So what happens with that particular game is we look at the first 11 for St. Louis FC. Alec Kang gets a start in goal. Patrick Doody, James Musa, Sam Vick, Nick Bibbs in the back. Nick Bibbs running from right back. Takada and Bushu will be the holders at midfield in the 4-2-3-1 formation. Parker Marr, Mike Ambersley's at central midfield. Brian Gall coming up from the right. And then Jordan Roberts, wearing number 23, gets just his 2nd start of the year. The key to this is to come back from that game in which you were shattered, have 2 to 3 good days, excellent days, as a matter of fact. Dale Schilling told me of training to get back into things, get points now. And now we take a look at the first 11 for visiting FC Montreal, who, Bob Ramsey, have been absolutely red hot. Their goalkeeper is David Pullman. In the back is Yannick Charbonneau, Jonathan Grant, Mitchell Bringolf, young players throughout. Zachary Zakunda. They play in a 4-3-3 formation with Jeremy Gagnon-Lapare. He wears number 28. Louis Belhangoyet by number 58. Number 50 is Marco Dominguez, just 19 years of age. Up top, a new find for them, a Cameroonian. Number 47, Jacques Caman. Number 49 is Alessandro Rigi. And number 67, again a youngster, 22 years of age, Frederic Lajoie-Gravet. So what they bring to the table is a team that is likewise anxious to get into that playoff picture, and they've been red hot lately.
You know, often we talk about red hot. In the USL, we talk about teams that are really stifling on defense. But FC Montreal can put it in the back of the net, make no question about it.
Yeah, and led by, in particular, number 49, Alessandro Rigi, and the new guy, number 47, Jacques Caman, the Cameroonian, who has made some appearances for Cameroon's national team. Just joined the team about a month ago. And he's been inserted into the first 11, just the 2nd game for FC Montreal. So these are the types of teams, a USL team that has an MLS team. There's an overall system to their play so that everybody plays the same way. And Montreal Impact, they made a shocking statement last week by signing number 11, the Ivorian, Dieter Drogba. This is huge when players like Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard, Didier Drogba, David Villa, after Thierry Henry, David Beckham. So this sport and this league, USL, as the offshoot of MLS, linking together, this is a sport for a changing and a new America, and games like this are evidence of just that.
Well, it's got such an international flavor, and not just because of Montreal on the Canadian side, but as you point out, great players from all over the world coming to play in these leagues.
Literally players from all over the world. In the first 11 for St. Louis, James Musa, who wears number 14, starting central defender. He's from New Zealand. Kentaro Takada, he'll be one of the holders tonight. He's a Japanese player. A lot of these players all still trying to get better, to make their mark. And what Dale Schilling told me that is, we're getting victimized, unfortunately, in some of these games that happened in the Red Bulls game. We're getting victimized by the level of superior athlete on other teams. They punish you for your mistakes. So you have to be wary against a young team like FC Montreal, who are all going out here with an attempt to play for that MLS team in Montreal.
I want to circle back to where we began. St. Louis FC continues to be one of the better road teams in the league, but translating that to the home pitch has been confounding at best. And we talk about, getting emotionally crushed against the Red Bulls. So, does that linger, the negative taste linger, or can you, nobody at this level, in the professional level, believes in moral victories, but can you take and say, look, we are competing in this league, we've just got to do it at home?
I think they see that, and they know they can do it, Bob, and I think we're going to see evidence of it tonight.
We'll be right back. St. Louis FC is next. Soccer Park, Bill McDermott. I'm Bob Ramsey, and Bill, give me a couple of keys that you'd like to see coming from the St. Louis side of the pitch early on.
Well, a couple of the things that I mentioned, and I talked with Dale Schilly prior to the game during the course of the week. He doesn't want the team to get too reckless trying to force chances. He mentioned that he had a meeting with Ken Hitchcock, coach of the St. Louis Blues, and they talked about the fact that this is indeed an overall process. You try to improve in all aspects of your game. They have done that. Dale thinks that St. Louis FC has done that in every area except finishing. They're still not being up to par with reference to that. So don't get too reckless trying to force those chances. Possession means penetration. And after you do that, you make your pass, you run in behind the defenders. St. Louis FC is skilled at that, but I'd also like to see them shoot from distance. Restarts. Like every soccer game played everywhere in the world, restarts are a vital ingredient. And finally, the back six in the 4-2-3-1 formation have that organization. When the holders cut the ball out, as quickly as they cut it out, play it early, start the attack. And that one player up top, Jordan Roberts, getting just his second start. Dale Shilley said we had entertained maybe putting Brian Gall up there, but Jordan Roberts, he'll stay up higher. Brian likes to drift back, come from a deeper position. And he's hungry for minutes. So the first 11 features Jordan Roberts, just his second start. He got to score, but he was a goal-scoring machine in intercollegiate play at Quincy. Now, I'm not naive enough to think that we're likening a professional team and a professional atmosphere to college soccer, but he knows where the goal is, and he's comfortable running at people as well as anywhere in and around the penalty area.
And we've, a tip of the cap to St. Louis soccer fans. Another great crowd tonight.
Yes.
I believe it's a sellout. If not, it's very, very close. Great crowd. There's something for everybody from the fanatics, the St. Louligans in their corner, family fun. It's a German-American night here in the Anheuser-Busch Beer Garden. It's going nuts. It is a great time for everybody. Oh, and by the way, great soccer.
By the way, great soccer as well. And we've talked about this, Bob, that the St. Louis soccer fans, some of whom have played soccer, a good number have played soccer, others are somewhat new to the game. They're coming out to watch to see what's happening here. So it is German-American night. You see a lot of people walking around with Bastian Schweinsteiger shirts on, Thomas Muller, some old Franz Beckenbauer, some Gunter Netzers, Wolfgang Overatz. So the fans here in St. Louis, they do get the idea of what it means when it is a particular night, wear the shirt of that particular country.
How about that? And we're underway. FC Montreal in their all-white kits, trimmed in royal blue, black numbers. St. Louis in all navy blue and gold numbers, moving from our left to our right. And they're going to go on the attack right away. Bringolf tries to break it up on the far side for Montreal, and it goes out of play. And St. Louis will get a throw in on the far side. Patrick Duty will throw it in.
Patrick Duty back from a brief 3-game stint with the Chicago Fire, in which he featured in every game, 90 minutes of every game.
So what was the overall takeaway from his experience?
He enjoyed it. He saw that it was dramatically and totally different than what's going on here. However, the key ingredient, Bob, was, in answer to your question, the most germane point, this league prepared him and made him better and gave him more confidence going into MLS.
On the throw-in, Montreal switches fields right to left, and here they come up the far side. Try to get it to Secunda. He couldn't control.
Yeah, coming out of the backfield, all these teams, they try to get their overlapping back, wide backs, get him into the attack as soon as possible.
I think tried to drive one deep. It was broken up, but Kentaro Takada takes over in the middle. Good possession in the offensive third. Ball on the right side. Nifty little move. Had to curl it back. Gives it up there for Nick Bibbs. Bibbs in the corner, one-on-one. Bullet a little bit too high. It caught Bibbs on the knee. Tried to come through the middle. Now they'll still possess, though, coming back out and reloading.
Yeah, we talked about it, Bob. Possession eventually means penetration. Get it behind the defense, then make it runners.
Fink and Bibbs driving it up the near side and out of play. And then I'll give it right back to Montreal. FC Montreal, they have been red hot, and they have been scoring.
Yeah, their last game of a 3-game road trip, 10-day road trip for FC Montreal.
Dominguez Ramirez gave that one away. St. Louis in the offensive third again, looking to get dangerous. Can they make it pay? Brian Gall, left foot, curled it on. Header attempt, missed, and it bounces through. Oh, bodies go down. Takada wondered if maybe he was pushed from behind in the area, but they play on.
Kentaro Takada tried to get into that cross from Brian Gall. Certainly looks like he was taken down inside the penalty area. We get a better look at it here as Gall whistles this ball in from the right flank with his left, away from the defense. Takada tries to get in the end of it, and he was clearly held as he ran into the goal mouth area.
Their keeper, Pullman, Sends it up the right side. St. Louis takes over again, so early possessions. Takata. Then it's booted up the left side. Looking to run on again. Oh! The offside flag comes up.
And that's one thing that Jordan Roberts will do, Bob. He may get caught in an offside position, but he will stretch the field. He will make it easier for the players to find him coming out of the backfield. He'll run long, then occasionally he'll come back short. You can play the ball at his feet.
Montreal brings it back out again. Secunda on the near sideline. Secunda hemmed in. He drops it back. Looking there with Grant, Jonathan Grant. Booted high in the air. Gall goes back, wins it with a header. And it's poked ahead. Nicely done. Well played, Bouchou, but they couldn't catch up. Well, he plucked that right out of the air and made it dangerous. They try to clear the St. Louis half of the field, but St. Louis FC takes over nicely. Musa fires it ahead. Bouchou again tried to drill one on for Roberts, but Jordan couldn't run under it. It goes out of play, and Montreal will take over.
And St. Louis FC, at least early in this game, Bob, much more direct with their attacking, getting the ball into the central part of the field, either through the midfielders or on the ground at the striker's feet.
Another nice header play by Bouchou, and Sam Fink stepped into a long direct pass in the air, took it away, and now here comes Mike Ambersley. He sends it ahead for Roberts. Oh, and the crowd oohs and ahs. Oh, and some folks right in line with that official disagree, head shaking in the stands.
Just one step, I think one step offside. Jordan Roberts there in behind that last defender. Ooh, just barely.
In behind, Bill?
You'd like that.
Really?
You'd like that AR to air on the attack of this, air on the side of the attacking player, but nonetheless, number 23, Jordan Roberts, he's hungry for minutes and in particular goals. Just his second start of this 2015 campaign.
Secunda again. Drives one forward, and it is a good ball for Rigi. Alessandro Rigi gets up top, has some space. Oh, I thought he was going to let one fly. Finds it up, a man, a shot. Oh, a kick save and a beauty. Alec Tan slid and drove it out of there.
Good attacking by FC Montreal to get forward as quickly as possible, due in large part to the quick ball from the left flank from Alessandro Rigi.
I thought Rigi was, when he moved to the arc, might let one fly, but he wisely found somebody with a better shot.
Just 21 years of age is Alessandro Rigi. He tried to fire number 67, Frederic Ravel. That shot at the far post. He was whistled up offside initially.
No scores. We go into the 6th minute. Driven into the offensive third. Headed way out of bounds, and this one maybe get a little chippy early as a couple of bodies crash to the turf. Beautiful night in St. Louis. Very humid, as you would expect. Hard by the banks of the Merrimack River. For those of you watching, just on the other side of the trees over there is the Merrimack River, and so it stays humid here, but there's a little bit of a breeze tonight. Makes it very pleasant here at Worldwide Technology Soccer Park. FC Montreal brings it out. Gagnon Lapierre drives one with the left foot. Well read and taken away by Nick Bibbs with a header. St. Louis couldn't control, and there in the middle, Dominguez Ramirez. Little header, nice little give and go. Moving forward, here they come. Belangoyet sends it left, drops it inside, and Alec Can is there. See, he raced off the near post to scoop it up.
Quick to the reactions, the goalkeeper, Alec Can. It's quickly obvious that FC Montreal likes to attack with all three players. Number 49, Alessandro Rigi. Number 47, Jacques Hamann. Here's Rigi again in off that left flank. Try to knock it across the goal mouth into the penalty area. Just mishit it at the end. He was trying to find the run of number 47, Jacques Hamann. We talked about him, Bob. He just joined the team. Number 47 is Jacques Hamann. He had that prior chance. He's a Cameroonian, just 21 years of age. He trained over a month with the team before signing. Just signed on the 10th of July this year.
FC Montreal starting to get into this one a little bit. A couple of counters and now possess the ball again. Moving up the pitch, Jonathan Grant sends it left. Rigi again. Rigi to the middle. A little bit of space there. Belangoyet. And it goes rolling out of play. But that was dangerous as they approach the penalty area.
They get forward. They look for number 58, Louis Belangoyet. And he tries to play balls in behind the defense, on the angle, on the ground. That's a dangerous ball. When you're in the central part of the field, you can play the balls on those angles to find the runs of your teammates in behind the defense. That's very dangerous.
A lot of energy from both clubs here in the early going. Alec drives it across midfield. Headed on for Ambersley. Nice play, a little give and go. Ambersley runs onto it, but he was beaten to the play by Jonathan Grant again.
Jonathan Grant, yeah, alert defending, Bob. The ball's going to bounce into the penalty area on the next bounce. No nonsense, just clear it from the area.
Montreal brings it back again. They want to run under one here, and they show some good speed. Good speed up front and a handball up top. Uh-oh, Jacquemin, you've been calling his name.
He was real comfortable running under that long flighted ball.
Great speed.
But just at the tip of the penalty area arc, odd bounce at the end, couldn't quite control, bounces up, hits his arm.
Sam Fink will bring it out. He's there with Nick Bibbs up the side. Two-hand push in the back. Brian Gall says, I don't mind. I will curl it back, and Bouchou will get it back to our keeper. Now they want to put a little more pressure on. Montreal starting to get their legs under them here in St. Louis.
Yeah, getting those three forwards forward as quickly as possible, especially with balls like that coming from the midfield from Gagnon-Lapare.
Fink broke it up again nicely. Takata with Fink. Kentaro Takata, the veteran, drives it with the left foot. The St. Louis looks to run under one. Couldn't quite get there. Well defended on the play by Grant and out of play. Grant did a nice job cutting off all the angles.
He cut the angle off superbly, made the right angle on the run, defending against number 23, Jordan Roberts. This is a difficult ball to defend against because it's coming over your shoulder on the bounce. Jordan Roberts, again, as I mentioned, Bob, he'll stretch the field. He'll run for a long ball, flighted like that from Takata. Then the next time he'll show inside the center circle or maybe at the tip of the penalty area arc.
Grant boots one in the air on the near sideline. That's out. Rigi couldn't keep it in, and that'll go back to St. Louis. Throwing it in, Nick Bibbs. Nick drops it in play there with Bouchou. Turns, nice touch. Takata gives it back to Bouchou. Little angle pass to the middle, but they couldn't control. Marr couldn't knock that one down. They give it away. Here comes Gagnon-Lapare. And then a pass on, trying to get one for Jordan Roberts to run on to. But I got to tell you, this Jonathan Grant has been everywhere. He's anticipating every ball, isn't he?
Good, alert defending, because that's a dangerous ball to defend against, those balls on the ground behind you.
Ambersley tried to get into the middle. It's booted away, and Michael run it down. Ambersley on the near sideline. Keeps it in, draws a double. There with Bibbs. Bibbs gets it back inside. Roberts. Too much traffic, so he'll wheel that back for duty, and Patrick runs it down. Patrick had a taste of the MLS. Now he runs it up the side for Takata. Can St. Louis keep it in? They cannot. Looking to try and get there, and they couldn't quite haul it in.
Looking for the run of Parker Marr was Kentaro Takata. Coming in off that left flank. Takata, one of the holders tonight in that 4-2-3-1 formation. The two holders stand directly in front of those four last defenders, the last wall, if you will. Fink and Musa centrally as the center backs in those final four.
David Palmin sends it across midfield. Fink is there for St. Louis. Trying to get this one under control. A nice run on. Some elbows fly. They take the Langoyette out of the play. Very physical play there, and Ambersley comes away with it, but can't control. It's clear everybody's trying to get Jordan Roberts involved, running on the plays, but every pass toward him has been stifled.
Either cut up by Belian Goyette, or in particular, as you mentioned, by number 52, Jonathan Grant, who's doing a wonderful job at center back.
A nice steal for St. Louis. They want to curl one through, looking to run onto this one is Ambersley. He kind of got cut out of there himself. Will try and run the ball, but saved by St. Louis. Parker Marr gets it there with Ambersley. He's shoved down from behind.
Centrally defending number 52, Jonathan Grant. His first real mistake. No need to foul there. as Mike Ambersley has his back to play with no assistance whatsoever. 3 defenders against 1. Now a dangerous free kick come in, either from Brian Gall or Patrick Duty.
You said this would be a key, needs to be a key for this team.
It absolutely has to be. If you're going to get back into the flow of things offensively, if it's not going to come from play, let it come from restarts.
St. Louis sets up perpendicular from the far post. Look to run on, curled near side, a punch, but oh, it was sort of up for grabs there, Bill, and rolled away. That was dangerous.
That's a dangerous ball, flatted in by Brian Gall. James Musa up from center back, tries to get on the end of it. This is the goalkeeper, Paulian. Normal goalkeeper, at least the goalkeeper had played in the last game when FC Montreal during this week beat Louisville 4-0, was Maxime Crapeau, and who had a fabulous game, but Holman gets a start tonight.
Montreal tries to send it right back into the St. Louis zone. Broken up. Gagnon up there. Sends it out of play. Let me remind you about Dobbs Tire and Auto. For the best selection and price and quality brand name tires and the best in expert auto service. For convenience and value, get into Dobbs. No score here in the 14th minute. St. Louis will get it on the far throw-in.
These two teams, Bob, immediately adjacent to each other. 22 points for St. Louis FC, 18 for FC Montreal. They've both played 20 games. By the way, Bob, did you see during the week, the Rochester Rhinos are, as we have been calling them, the 70 Brazilians. Their streak ended at 19.
How about that? How about that?
The final was 4-2. They lose to Charlotte this past Saturday.
That's a disaster.
So
4 goals.
4 goals.
They gave up 4. They don't do that in a month.
No, that's the first team to score multiple goals this year against Rochester, the Charlotte Independents, last weekend.
4 goals in a game. Someone will be shot.
So Richmond's record of 22 games undefeated in 2013 is still intact. 19-game undefeated streak ended for the Rochester Rhinos. They're now 12-1-7.
St. Louis-based Worldwide Technology is a proud supporter of soccer in St. Louis, recognized by Fortune magazine as one of the 100 best places to work 4 years in a row. Worldwide Technology says that with the right culture and teamwork, great things can happen. Montreal brings it back. Again, Grant drives one into the corner. Can they run it down and save it? Well done by Jacques Amand. Sent one through the middle and headed away. Side volley, it's not much on it. Kicked away. Beautifully done as St. Louis got back. Sam Fink in the right place, as he's supposed to be. Ahead for Jordan Roberts. He couldn't control it. He went down. They're going to call a foul, and St. Louis will get it.
Well, Jacques Amand chases that ball down at the corner flag arc, Bob, and he makes something happen by crossing it into the penalty area.
Great play. Great play.
Just flights over the top of the defenders. James Musa partially heading clear, not all the way out, but FC Montreal gets an opportunity because Haman chases that ball down at the opposite wing corner flag.
G&W Meat and Bavarian Style Sausage Company is proud to be the official brat of St. Louis FC. Celebrating 50 years as a family-owned St. Louis tradition, you can't beat G&W Meat. And Gall will get it started again on the near sideline. No score into the 17th minute. Here in St. Louis. Left boot into the penalty area. Up for grabs, a head right on. But the save is made easily. Well sighted, David Palmin.
Sam Fink up from central defender. Center back tries to flick that on, get it over to Mike Ambersley for a first-time shot.
That was a nice play. The keeper was ready.
Yep.
Back the other way, Gall with some nifty moves.
Yeah, that was cut out nicely by Gall, but it was a wonderful ball to the backfield from Grant.
Certainly was, and they do a nice job preventing Roberts from getting to that ball. And I'm telling you, this Jonathan Grant, he really plays the angles beautifully.
He gets right on the offensive player's back. He's not going to let him turn easily. Jordan Roberts is going to find that out the entire 90 minutes.
Gall will throw it in right corner. He does dump it in. Roberts and Gall tipped away, sets himself up, curls away from the keeper. Nobody could get there. Takata heads it in the air, gives Ambersley a chance. Try to send it back through the middle. Takata tried to get a volley on it, and it was offside.
Takata up inside the penalty area. Far away from that holding position, but he's comfortable doing both, offense and defense. The holders are so vital in that 4-2-3-1 formation, Bob. Get it, cut it out, get the offense going. Play it as quickly as possible. As soon as you cut it out, play it early.
Grant obviously has been their key man out of the back so far. Gagnon Lapare. They send one through. Can Ambersley get there? Oh, Grant gave up the body to get that one away from Ambersley running on. That was a magnificent play.
Wonderful ball from the left back, Patrick Duty, on the ground, in behind the defense. I take that back. That's Parker Marr with a wonderful ball.
Excuse me.
Yeah, in behind everyone, trying to find Mike Ambersley.
Now it's Bouchou with Takata. Sent one through. Oh, a half a step ahead of Roberts. Roberts getting the start. Things just not quite clicking with him and his teammates, but that comes with experience together.
And when you're in that one formation, that one forward up top, so many things you have to do. A, hold the ball, wait for people to join, and balls like this. Perhaps, as you can see, Takata was motioning for Jordan Roberts, that he wanted him to go make his run in behind the defense so he could find him, and perhaps Jordan Roberts was waiting for the ball to be put at his feet.
Feta Sports has 6 locations in the metro area. They have indoor and outdoor soccer leagues with men's, co-ed, and women's divisions. Register a team or sign up for a house team. Details at vetasports.com. Get your friends together and play soccer. 20th minute here in St. Louis, no score. Secunda. And they turn back through the middle, looking for an opening. Tipped away. St. Louis takes over nicely. James Musa couldn't clear it out. Recovered by Montreal.
Musa couldn't get it out because that Jacques Haman again is really making those last 2 central defenders play.
Bouchou with Ambersley, and they fire it ahead. Here comes St. Louis on a dead run and an offside.
Wow, it looked like Duty ran from almost the other side of the center line to run onto that ball. I don't know if he could have been in behind the last defender here. Let's see, Duty.
I think he eventually ran by him.
He came back.
Yeah.
He was initially off, came back to be onside. That's the accurate call by the assistant referee. By the way, the referee tonight is Elvis Mamutovic. Assistant referees are Don Tebow and Aaron Schumacher. The 4th official lining up tonight is Tomasz Kuczwara.
Far side, we have players flying out of bounds. St. Louis will get the ball on the throw-in. Looking for Bouchou, a foul. Slow to get up, and I'll remind you about Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers for the best selection and price on quality brand name tires and the best in expert auto service for convenience and value. Get into Dobbs. Pace has slowed down a little bit. Team's starting to get gassed. A humid night in St. Louis. Left footer into the area. Players there. It's loose on top. Oh, a little bit of a hip check, and it looked like a side volley attempt from Musa. He was in the air, just tried to somehow get part of his body on it. Bodies fly, and the ball goes out of play. And now the official is calling for the trainers to come out and see David Palmin.
Palmin, the goalkeeper. This ball flooded in by Brian Gall. Both central defenders for St. Louis FC, Sam Fink and James Musa, come up. Musa evidently collided with number 28, Jeremy Gagnon Lapare, the team captain for FC Montreal. Beautiful ball flooded in by Brian Gall. 2 central defenders, Fink battling with James Musa. And at the end of the play, Fink runs onto it. I think he may have got a knee in the upper quad area. I'm not 100% certain, obviously, from this distance, but nonetheless, Musa collides with Gagnon Lapare, the team captain for FC Montreal. Both players down right now. The players get a valuable water break in the process of seeing what happened to both players. Lapare and Musa have to stay on the field while they're doing this. Ball flooded in. Dangerous ball by Brian Gall, looking for Sam Fink coming out from central defender. Musa rises to try to get the second ball at the opposite post. Collides with Lapare in the process. Both players down. They both seem to be okay, but James Musa
to his feet,
limping heavily.
Yeah.
You get those knees in the quad, that's a horrible injury.
And that's exactly what he's looking at, Bill.
Seems to be, yeah.
Interested in a refreshingly different banking alternative?
Well, we welcome you to the world of Triad Banking. Your business, your family, your bank, triadbanking.com. That's triadbanking.com.
Musa trying to gather himself.
Nathan Burney, the team athletic trainer, talking with James Musa to see if indeed he can continue. But since Nathan Burney came off the field, he will have to exit, wait for the next guaranteed substitution if indeed he can continue.
They're going to try and stretch out that quad. That's exactly what they're doing now, Bill.
Seems to be quad, hamstring, something of that nature. Lapre also came off the field. He goes back in the next guaranteed substitution.
That one's headed out of play.
You don't want to lose your central defender, one of your most valuable players. Dale had mentioned that during the Minnesota game, the NASL team here, Bob, in the Open Cup game, he got carried away somewhat with putting Musa at that holding midfield position. Really fell in love with him there, and really got away from his best position. That was playing central defender because of his experience.
Parker Moore had a piece, couldn't control, headed out of there, still loose, a shot. They score, but whistles blew.
Jacquin with a high foot. Jake Bouchou back defending. He seems to be okay. Here's the ball coming in from the right flank over the top of Bouchou. He leans down to head. Haman tries to get the back heel on it acrobatically. He was whistled up for the foul, for the dangerous play. James Musa re-enters for St. Louis FC. Coming back onto the field, number 14, James Musa, one of the more experienced players, the New Zealand international. Played at Fulham from 2012 to 2013. A-League in Australia.
St. Louis couldn't get anything going there, and a nice spin move to get away. Broken up, but once again recovered. Oh, nice play there by Bibbs. Sliding play, got it ahead, and here comes Roberts. One man to beat, can he chip it? Oh, he tried, and what a play by the keeper, Paulman.
And Paulman did the only thing he could possibly have done on a through ball like that to beat everybody. Come off your goal line, he made the right choice at the right time.
They send it right to Takata. Takata up top, Ambersley. Created some space, left-footed shot, a pill, but over the crossbar and out of play.
Wonderful play by St. Louis FC, a through ball in behind everyone, beats Jonathan Grant. Perhaps Jordan Roberts could have taken one last step, one last touch to put it beyond the on-rushing goalkeeper, push it to the right and or left, then get a touch on it. But good ball, good early ball in behind the defense on the ground. You're going to beat any team in the world like that. Dribble forward, wait for them to commit, play it on the ground behind people.
A couple of great opportunities. Lajoie Gravel. They try to get it into the middle, knocked away by Bibbs again. St. Louis bounces it ahead, but no chance for Roberts to run under that one as he is being marked very tightly by Jonathan Grant.
Jonathan Grant, whenever Jonathan Grant gets the ball in the backfield, or Mitchell Bringolf, number 60 and number 52 respectively, they look for the captain, Jeremy Gagnon-Lapare. He really is the boss inside that center circle, starts a lot of plays.
Secunda sent one across, St. Louis clears it out, Ambersley curls back, and they look to move. Marr sends it ahead, has Takata on a run, but he's outrun by that man, Jonathan Grant.
Jonathan Grant immediately saw that play developing. Not only does he have the wherewithal as a defender, he has that speed as the last man back.
He was able to shift from Roberts to Takata when he saw where the ball was going.
At a moment's notice, again, another dangerous ball sent in behind the defense. This time by Ambersley, the ball flooded in the air over the top of Grant initially, but look at the recovery speed from number 52, Jonathan Grant. Wonderful work. Just signed on the 14th of May this year. He's been called up to the Canadian national team as most recently as January 2015.
Secunda sends it on. Here they come. Turns, shoots, knocked it off of Bibbs. Oh, he gave up the body. Bibbs with a great play.
Good sliding tackle by Nick Bibbs, who's been in and out of the first 11 for one reason and one reason only. injuries, as has been the case with a lot of players. Brandon Barklage, in particular, not able to play tonight with a bad hamstring. Jeremy Lynch as well with a bad hamstring. Charles Rinkin cannot play. Yellow card accumulations.
Rigi had it taken away, but here comes Jordan Roberts looking for a teammate to help on the overlapping run. It's Ambersley. Here comes Roberts, a shot! Oh, and he just got it to the outside of the foot and it curled away.
There's one of the things that you want to see your top front runner do. First of all, he held the ball. Nobody looking to make a run. Gets his head up, looks, makes a couple of touches, shows that he can dribble, handles it one-on-one, comfortable going forward, shoots from somewhat of an awkward angle, but nonetheless, making the last two central defenders play is number 23, Jordan Roberts.
No score into the 29th minute. We've had some good action on both ends. FC Montreal sends one in, looking for Haman, up top of the area. Curls back out, swings it left. Little overlap, nope, fake shot through traffic. Oh, and a save by Alec Can. Rigi, very dangerous, very sly as he tried to pick his way through traffic with that one.
Alessandro Rigi comes in again off that left flank. Likes to come in centrally, shoots from there. Alec Can. That's a dangerous ball, Bob, because it bounces right in front of the goalkeeper.
Sends one through. Gall has it, gives it up to Kata. Kata hemmed in. Where's he going to go? Nothing open. Finds an open man on the wing. Marr sends one for Ambersley, just a hair behind him.
Couldn't quite handle it, Mike Ambersley, so he tried to flick it on, looking for the run of Parker Marr.
Oh, what a play by Bibbs. How athletic and physical was that? Bibbs just went through the man and made the play. Now Gall with Marr. Couldn't control. Hushu's there. Back for Marr. In the air. Roberts runs under. Ooh. Another one goes against St. Louis as Roberts tried to curl away from the defender, Secunda.
Over and back. He was forward. Then he came back to get into that onside position. Offside initially was number 23, Jordan Roberts.
Montreal brings it back out. Dominguez Ramirez. Oh, sent it through, but it looked too open to be true, and it was. Aman, it was offside.
Jacques Aman getting in behind Sam Fink and James Musa. And there was an exact reason, because he was offside. 4 shots for St. Louis FC so far to 3 from Montreal. 2 of which were on goal for the home side, looking desperately to try to get back into the playoff race.
Driven very deep, but Grant was there. As always, it seems, in the midfield. Musa goes back, is going to let it roll back to his keeper.
Yeah, that number 52, Jonathan Grant, he is a mainstay in the central part of the field. Has some international experience as well, Bob.
Roberts has a step, though. Oh, he didn't want to shoot that one. Drops it back. Gall, left foot, deflected away. There was a time that no one was on Roberts, but he couldn't take that shot. And now another flag.
Jordan Roberts is probably saying to the assistant referee, surely you must have me confused with someone else, because I cannot be offside that many times.
St. Louis-based Worldwide Technology is a proud supporter. St. Louis FC and soccer in our town, recognized by Fortune magazine as one of the best places to work 4 years in a row. And Worldwide Technology knows that with the right culture and teamwork, great things happen.
Well, if Jordan Roberts is questioning an assistant referee for that call, he should. He's level with the last defender. His hands are in front of the last defender. You don't score a goal with your hands. Err on the side of the attacking player.
Oh, that nifty little back heel for Gall. Getting it to Roberts. They saved it. Nice play by Ambersley. Sends it to the far side. Looking for Marr. That was knocked away. Coming well off his line was Palmin.
With a headed clearance a la Rene Higuita, former Colombian goalkeeper.
Nick Bibbs again. Trying to get nifty again. Gall tried to send it through but couldn't. Back they come. That one bounced through harmlessly off the boot of Belan Goyette. And Bouchou for St. Louis. Jacob to midfield. Has time, finds Ambersley. Curls back under duress, looks for an opening, little stutter step, nicely done. Swings it left. Oh, nice sliding play there, and suddenly FC Montreal on the counterattack. Moving in near the area to the right side, dangerous. Curled up top, a header attempt, just missed and knocked away by St. Louis. Now Gall has some room. He'll find Roberts. Looks to go one-on-one, now one-on-two. He's hemmed out of there.
Kept the ball nicely, did number 23, Jordan Roberts. It has to be under your job description as well, Bob. If nothing else is on, keep it till people join.
Pushu sends it through. Roberts was picked off. And it goes out of play off of St. Louis. Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. For the best selection and price on quality brand name tires and the best in expert auto service for convenience and value, get into Dobbs.
Jordan Roberts getting the start because Dale Shilley told me we're still just looking for that guy inside the penalty area. Sometimes who just maybe scores by accident. A player like Matt Fondy from Louisville comes to mind. Fondy's got 12 goals, third place in that particular department. 16 goals apiece for Rob Vincent and Danny Koenig. Koenig from OKC Energy. And Pittsburgh has Rob Vincent, 16 goals apiece.
Sent one through, a little header give and go, and then swung left. Again dangerous. Back up top. Rigi through the middle. It's loose, knocked away. Can they save it? Yes! Musa got back just in time.
Good work from Musa to cut out that nice 1-2 on the ground from FC Montreal. FC Montreal, excuse me. Good balls on the ground, the quick 1-2s. Early, right at people's feet.
Secunda again drives one across, but that's headed away by Takata. Ambersley tried to get it to Roberts, gets it back. Tries for Roberts again. He has that man, Grant, on him, and Grant takes it away, picks his pocket, and comes back up the left side. And drives one deep, and Alec Can will let it. Goes back together.
Jonathan Grant does all the difficult work. He defends, dribbles forward as you want your center back to do, and then plays it too long into the arms of the goalkeeper. If you're going to make
Only
that
by
play,
30 yards.
If you're going to make that play coming out of your backfield, find someone on the ground at their feet.
FC Montreal sends one in again, trying to get a man to run on, and he just missed. Rigi on a dead run, tried a volley and couldn't make connections. That was dangerous. What an effort by Rigi.
Rigi's really troublesome. The guy who scored the very first goal for FC Montreal in this expansion season.
Secunda again. Secunda curls one. That's not easy, and Can goes up and makes it look so. But they had players in the area and dangerous. Takata now for St. Louis.
Ball just sent into the penalty area. Alessandro Rigi with a rare miss kick as the ball was bouncing right at the penalty area arc.
Takata tried to force his way through traffic as it looked like St. Louis had something on, but that's broken up. Back they come. Belan Goyette swings it left for Rigi. Rigi got a back heel, got it back outside the arc. Rigi tried to jam one through traffic. It bounces through, no deflection really. And Can was able to come up with it.
Rigi very active on this left flank for FC Montreal. Joined the academy system at the tender age of 15. Did number 49, Alessandro Rigi. He went to Sampdoria, then Celta Vigo. Had enough of that. Came back to play for FC Montreal. 7 goals, 2 assists so far for number 49, Alessandro Rigi.
Secunda. There again with Rigi and back for Grant. They'll give it up back for Pomin. Grant surveys, gives it up this time to Dominguez Ramirez. Swings to the right side for Bringolf. They'll try the right side this time. Lajoie Gravel, and they get it back. Up top, looking for some space and finding it. Oh, Bibbs broke up what was almost a beautiful play. Bibbs in the right place at the right time. Roberts takes a forearm to the chest, and FC Montreal will pay for that one.
Handball whistled up against the team captain, Lapare. Roberts coming back to get the ball, this time played on the ground at his feet. And as always, number 52, Jonathan Grant, immediately anxious to do the defending, not allowing Roberts to turn and go anywhere.
No score into the 39th minute. Driving it deep, looking for Ambersley. Couldn't get it there. Gall does recover for Mike Ambersley. Curls it back. Sent it into the area looking for Roberts. Feet were taken out from under him as Montreal looks to bring it back. They get around Bouchou. Have some 4-on-4 numbers across midfield. Chipping it on. And a dead run. Here we go. Looking for Haman and a whistle.
All chipped in. I should say scooped in by FC Montreal over the back line, looking for the run of number 47, Jacques Haman. Always anxious and willing to do the running is number 47, Haman.
Ambersley for St. Louis. Wants Roberts. Has him on the right side. Trying to free himself up. Sends it into Ambersley in deep. Curls back up top. Another shot goes in. Now up top they try a right-footed toe, and that's no good as it's booted away. Too much traffic in the penalty area.
That's exactly what happened. Everybody withdrew, got back deep into the penalty area, cutting balls out, doing the defending. Another hard professional tackle from Nick Bibbs, not allowing anybody to turn on this left flank.
He has been brilliant, brave, and tough tonight. Now left foot curl to the far post, no one there. As we go into the 40th minute.
Jordan Roberts, beautiful ball played in on the ground ahead to Mike Ambersley. As deep as he was, he tried to knock it back that deep. Jordan Roberts gets a shot off, deflects off Marco Dominguez. Second ball deflects once, twice. Struck by Parker Barr just outside the penalty area.
Ballman brings it out with Ringolf. They'll try the right flank, and Ringolf brings it back. Maybe he wants the middle. Nope. Switch field to the left side for Secunda. Secunda and Rigi flicks it forward. Tried to get it back, but Bibbs intercepted. And then back for Sam Fink for St. Louis.
There's a good ball from the backfield by Fink to find the holder. Play through the central midfield. Play through the center circle.
Bouchou wants to work it left. Parker Marr is there. Marr for St. Louis with Bouchou in the midfield. Work to move it forward. Can he set up a teammate? Here we go. Something on. Chip to the right side, looking for Roberts. He looks to settle. Bounced away. Can he set up the left foot? He tried, and well wide. Couldn't quite settle it to get it to shooting range.
Offered a bit too much of the ball to the last defender, and actually the last touch got away from him.
Yep.
So he couldn't wrap his left foot around that. But number 23, Roberts, proving to be active, getting away from the defender whenever you can, in particular number 52, Jonathan Grant. Tried to get this across his body, just couldn't get around it.
Ballman with Ringolf for FC Montreal. Try the right side. Swing it left. They want Rigi. They find him. Found an open man up top. Looks to settle. Wait. Shot blocked by the defense. Oh, nice job by Musa.
Yes, FC Montreal does a nice job of getting the ball under control, on the ground, and trying to work those quick 1-2s right inside the penalty area, looking for number 47, Jacques Haman.
Did sent one a little bit too deep. Now Grant will bring it out. Grant with Gagnon, Lapere. To the right side, they'll try again. Musa again back to break it up. He's on to that play. Knocked away out of bounds. Duty. We haven't called Patrick's name a lot tonight.
Hasn't had a chance to really get forward and contribute to the attack bomb from that left back position.
Now that one's curled into the area and headed away nicely. Fink was there.
Yeah, Musa has his work cut out looking after number 47, Jacques Haman, as Jonathan Grant is doing much the same with number 23, Jordan Roberts. Two nice battles, strong battles between forwards and defenders.
Miguel Ramirez sends it through. Haman now. That was blocked and knocked away. They want Roberts to run under, but Grant's with him. It'll be a tough task. Grant wins it. They tried to backheel it forward. Secunda couldn't do so, but knocked off of a St. Louis player, Brian Gall, out of bounds.
A flighted ball over the top is not going to beat number 52, Jonathan Grant. There's been vast evidence of just that.
He shows that he's going to read it better than anybody on the pitch.
Very quick to react, defends, cuts it out, then plays it early.
Through the middle, little pincer movement, and they take it away. Haman to the right side. Oh, stalwart defense there. Lavoie Gravel up top. Lavoie Gravel had an opportunity to get it to the middle. It was knocked away. Sent back in with a header. St. Louis remains under control. They want to get it back to Alec Can. He boots it high in the air to midfield, way over midfield. And they call Roberts again.
Another offside call, whistle up against number 23, Jordan Roberts. I thought he was just chasing a long flighted ball when the ball was struck. He was either level with that last defender or certainly in an onside position.
Regia header right on, and Alec Can, well sighted, adjusted and made the play. Brian Gall, Takata, Bibb sends it back to Can. They'll put a little pressure on. He'll boot it to midfield.
Alessandro Rigi again making things happen, coming on up this left flank.
Takata tried to split the defense. They made him curl back. Boy, he has been under duress. Great work, a lot of hand play, a little hand fighting. Dominguez Ramirez. St. Louis takes it away, and they have Brian Gall with some open space. Gall and Roberts. Send it through for Roberts, and boot it away at the last moment. Nice job by Dominguez Ramirez.
What another lovely defensive work, piece of defensive work there by number 50, Marco Dominguez. Nice sliding tackle, beautiful ball in behind all 5 last defenders, and Marco Dominguez with a nice saving, sliding tackle to cut that ball out.
Throw it in, Bouchou for St. Louis. Curls one, switching fields, headed in the air to take it away from Ambersley, and St. Louis will just throw it in from the other side now. One bounce for Gall. Gall turns, had some space. I don't think he realized how open he was. Tips it back. Bouchou again, curled through, ran into traffic. Can he contain or hold on to the ball? And he's pulled down. And now is a dangerous opportunity.
Just outside the tip of the penalty area arc, Marco Dominguez whistled up on the foul. Jacob Bouchou made this play possible simply because some hard tackling wouldn't let the play die. Eventually, he's whistled up and held by Marco Dominguez, so he wins a dangerous free kick, perhaps at the stroke of halftime for St. Louis FC.
About 10, 12 yards outside the arc.
This ball has to be shot.
3-man wall facing. Ambersley on the right side, everybody else along the penalty area.
Shoot this ball.
Left foot, shot, curled. Oh, what a save as he was going for the right corner. The upper right corner, and a big save by Paul Min, and that'll end the first half. And a great opportunity and a good shot.
Nicely struck by number 8, Brian Gall. Did the right thing. No need to try to find anybody there with the dead ball. Wonderfully struck by number 8, Brian Gall. And a likewise excellent save by the goalkeeper, number 70, David Pullman, getting the start tonight instead of number 40, Maxime Crepeau.
Well, Bill McDermott, first half of play, action back and forth, up and down the pitch. No goals, but entertaining nonetheless.
Some attacking both ways, strong defending. We talked about the 2 defenders that have been really doing a good job. Musa for St. Louis FC and Jonathan Grant. 8 shots for St. Louis FC to 6 for Montreal. On goal, 3 apiece. But the key to it has been the fact that number 23, Jordan Roberts, has been providing something a little bit different, just different enough for St. Louis FC.
Apparently the officials think it's so different that it's illegal.
And they think that he's doing something different than the FIFA rule originally allows, because he's been whistled offside 27 times here in the first half. But nonetheless, he'll continue to attempt. The last part, when you're playing that one forward formation, you're going to try to cheat as often as possible.
We're going to take a break here in suburban St. Louis, Fenton, Missouri. No score after 1 half. The tremendous Jim Ewer will take control of halftime. Bill and I will be back for second half action. Don't go away. This is St. Louis FC Soccer on the Big 550 KTRS.
Blue Chip Pest Control is proud to present Buggin' the Players.
I'm Mike Ambersley, number 15 for STLFC. This is my son, George. Today we're gonna just go to the playground. We're at Francis Park here in St. Louis Hills. This is one of George's favorite spots, so we're gonna hang out on the swing, go for a slide, and we'll see how long he lasts. All right, bud, you wanna go to the slide? Or you wanna go to the swing? Oh, you wanna go to these right away, yeah. These are your favorite, aren't they? Which one you wanna do? The horse? That's right, where do we put our hands? There, right? There we go. He's been a blessing for Lauren and I. I get to, spend a lot of time with him. I get home from practice about 1 o'clock, and we get to spend the day together. Oh yeah, where do you want to go now? Want to go to the twirly one?
Oh, wow.
Show him how you climb up the stairs. Good boy. Good job, George. Yeah, here we go. Good job. Usually this playground's packed. This is the first time I've ever seen no one here. You don't have to share with anybody today. Can you bounce on him?
No.
Go this way. All right, let's see what we got. You ready? Here we go. Good clap. Yay. Yay, good job. All right, you want to go this one?
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah? You got to hold on, bud. Here, let's hold on. Now you can ride. Yeah, there you go. Make sure you stay on there. Don't want you to fall off. Mom would be pretty mad at us. Or me. Hello. Oh, you go swing? It's just a day in the life with George. Show me what you want to do. Okay, you want to go swing? Yeah, let's swing. Beat him. All right, how high are we going to go today? There we go. Can you wave to the camera, George? Can you wave? There you go. George, what does the cow say? Moo, that's right. Where do you want to go, George? Over there? Okay, we'll go over there. All right, thanks for spending time with us today. I'm gonna get back to what I love doing most, hanging out with my son. So stop bugging us. You say, stop bugging us. Can you say that?
It seems like yesterday was February 16th. We got 5 or 6 inches of snow. We were scrambling, trying to figure out where we're going to practice. Now it's 8 games left, and we're scrambling, trying to figure out what we're going to do to make the playoffs. 3 good, solid performances now in a row, 90-minute performances, each of them, and those are things that we've been striving for a while. So, the takeaway is let's put a 4th one together. And let's see what happens with Montreal. We can perform again, do a good job, tweak a couple things to try to help create more chances. Then maybe we get a win here at home, which is something that we really want to give our fans. When we went to Montreal, we created a number of good chances in the first 20 minutes of the game. We didn't finish those chances, and then we fell apart. Maybe a lack of maturity, maybe some lack of focus, not sure, maybe frustration. But then we give goals away or give chances away, and they finish their chances. So I wouldn't say it's a fluke. It was immaturity on our part. We take responsibility for that, and we look forward to coming out against Montreal now and hopefully get the win.
It was my birthday, and so instead of presents, we decided to give it to Living Legacy. Everyone who came would give some money to they'd put it in like a box.
My kids play for Scott Gallagher, and we thought we loved the idea of the Living Legacy Fund, and we just kind of started doing birthday parties. Kids bring donations, and then our company matches whatever the birthday party brings in.
It was a paintball party. My soccer team, some of my family and friends.
Why get a bunch of stuff that is going to sit in a corner and we're going to end up donating at some point anyway, so they loved it.
Well, I know what it's for, and I just wanted to do it.
To get involved in the community and help kids that don't have opportunities that these kids do. We love Scott Gallagher.
Hi FC fans, I'm Nathan and this is Kelly, and we're with the Mercy Sports Medicine team. There are lots of benefits to warming up before physical activity. A proper warm-up can help prevent injuries and keep you on the field. A proper warm-up only takes about 10 to 15 minutes. Jogging, high knees, skipping, karaoke, or a variety of movement-based activities. And then finally, conclude with sport-specific movement, such as lateral running, passing with a ball, or anything that ties into your activity you're preparing for. Give a good warm-up a try before your next physical activity. It may take your game to the next level. For more information, visit mercy.net/sportsmed.
My current financial situation, it's okay. It could be better. I have student loans that I'm working to pay off. I feel like it's the biggest burden on me at this point. Going to Regions Bank is very important for me because I get to sit down face-to-face with people and they will educate me about my financial situation. And I think Regions does a great job of guiding you to where you need to be. I'm ready to take my next step.
Hi, I'm Taka. I play for St. Louis FC. I just want to talk about Nothing But Net campaign. One of my friends told me about this campaign. Right away, I said, what can I do? St. Louis FC teamed up with Nothing But Net campaign. It costs only $10 to help save a life. Please come to our next home game and purchase a ticket. Not only could you win a great prize, you could also help save a life.
Worldwide Technology, Soccer Park, St. Louis, and Montreal. Bill McDermott, I'm Bob Ramsey. Glad you're with us. No score after one half of play, Bill, and it's been one of those matches, though, that had a lot of thrills back and forth, both teams with opportunities, but interestingly, 0 corner kicks. And it seems like that's what St. Louis might need to get something going in the area.
Well, we talked about the restart aspect of things when you're having a difficult time scoring from play. Even though tonight there has been some opportunities simply because the ball's been played on the ground, behind the defenders, on an angle. That's difficult to defend against. Still, no one really at home in that penalty area for St. Louis FC. That's a real key ingredient, that finishing aspect that's missing from their game. But nonetheless, with the fact that Harrisburg has indeed won their game tonight, makes it even more difficult, but even more imperative for St. Louis FC to get these 3 points at home.
FC Montreal's Jonathan Grant has been marvelous, and I'm not sure if we're able to evaluate Jordan Roberts' play getting the start tonight against this premier defender. It's hard to evaluate because he has been in the right place virtually all night long.
When you get a feel for it, but you saw there Patrick Duty talking it over with Jordan Roberts. Maybe sometimes I'm going to send it long, other times show for me, I'll play it on the ground at your feet, withdraw, play at the tip of the penalty area arc, go out wide to the flank, I'll send it, you get there, play it, hold it, wait for others to join. But Jonathan Grant has been doing a wonderful job against Jordan Roberts, not allowing him to turn, making it terribly difficult for him to play. So Roberts is going to have to get away from number 53, Jonathan Grant, to really be able to put his offensive stamp on this game.
And I'm wondering if, certainly easier said than done, but flood the area that Grant's in to have him make a tough decision under duress.
How many times have we said it, Bob? Make that last defender play. Make him play. If you get the ball in on the ground, anywhere close to the penalty area, get it behind him, make him have to look over his shoulder, play from difficult positions, make him have to cut the ball out that's coming to you.
Dale Schilly, Coach Schilly is not going to be happy, Bill, unless he's got a lead. Having said that, what do you believe his tack was at halftime?
I think his talk at halftime had something to do with, well, we're getting some opportunities, some decent opportunities. Continue to work at it because we're putting the ball in behind people when we have the opportunity. That's what's going to prove to be dangerous, those balls in behind people on the ground. Because, as we just talked about, Bob, it's proven that you're not going to beat Jonathan Grant or Ringhoff in the air with slided balls. So, I think he might want some more penetrating passes from the midfielders, something more dangerous from the midfielders inside the center circle, and don't lose the ball going forward when you're in and around that center circle.
St. Louis will have the first opportunity with possession. And here we go. Takata has had one of his better games of the year.
He's been very active, and you have to be in that position when you're in the central part of the field as one of those two holding midfielders.
There's Kentaro again. Tried to poke one through to find Parker Marr, but he was sandwiched between two defenders, and they curled up into the offensive third for Montreal. Looking to swing it right, but back to get that one was Patrick Duty. Knocks it away, but couldn't clear it out. Gagnon Lapere tried to send it back through, could not. Now there's some open space, looking to move in. Dominguez Ramirez in the corner, got it up top, looking for an open man, trying to curl, and Bouchou is there, and a whistle.
So St. Louis FC and FC Montreal, no changes at halftime. Both these clubs immediately next to each other in the Eastern Conference standings. Montreal, they've played 20 games, likewise with FC St. Louis, 20 games. St. Louis FC has 22 points to Montreal's 18. Harrisburg, who's immediately in front of Charlotte and St. Louis, now has 28 points with their 19th game being played here this evening when Richmond visited at Harrisburg.
Feels like a big gap, but you can only take care of your own business at hand, right?
Especially when you're playing these games at home, Bob. Just 7 left. 7 left after tonight, 4 of which are on the road.
St. Louis with a nice takeaway. Parker Marr looking to get it to Roberts, knocked away, but Parker's there again. Tipped off a defender, and St. Louis putting a little early pressure on.
Trying to get more people forward, numbers forward to contribute to help out number 23, Jordan Roberts.
Patrick Duty. He's there with Ambersley, and up top for Takata. At midfield, and then back for Fink. On the ground. Gall has it. Gall with Bouchou. And to lob one over the top. Marr couldn't run under it. They send it forward, and here comes Montreal. Looking to go up the right side. Couldn't do it. Come on. He gets it back. Come on. Didn't like the look, and he'll curl that back. Charbonneau. He had to give it up. And they cleared all the way back to their keeper, Palmin.
No place to go forward. It wasn't on. You couldn't play through center circle. Nobody available at the striker's feet. Apare just plays it back to his goalkeeper. Started over.
Bringolf. Bit of a long run. Bringolf for Charbonneau.
When you have center backs who are comfortable dribbling the ball out of their own backfield, it's dangerous.
That was a bit dangerous from Takata, but Alec Can was able to recover. Gall hemmed in on the side. Nice play by Nick Bibbs, and he gets it back. Here comes Nick with a nice run. Overlapping up there, trying to find an open man. Looks at the side of the area, curls one, dangerous, tipped away, but ouch. Couldn't quite control it, Palmin, and Nick Bibbs with a nice run.
Good 1-2 on that right flank between Ambersley and Nick Bibbs. Always willing to join the attack is number 13, Nick Bibbs. Here's the eventual into the play. Long flight of ball across the penalty area. Inside the 6-yard box of the penalty area. Palmin punches it clear for the eventual corner kick for St. Louis FC.
Well, I asked for a corner kick. Didn't get any in the first half, and here we go. Brian Gall. What will he try and do here?
Keep it away from the goalkeeper, number 1. He's flighting this from the left flank with his left foot. He'll curl it away from the goalkeeper, looking for Fink or Musa.
They run on. He boots in. Tried for the header. Couldn't get in the air. Cleared in front. Loose back heel knocked away. Another shot over the crossbar.
Looks to be yet another corner. Yeah, Bouchou just over the top. Looks to be another corner. The ball deflected on that shot from number 17, Jacob Bouchou. Ball just dangerous enough from Brian Gall. Deflects off 2 defenders. Falls to the feet of Ambersley. Shoots on the ground to Bouchou. Tries to knock it in. Gets the end result. Just leans back a bit too far. The ball came off Jonathan Grant. Jacob Bouchou with an excellent opportunity. Bouchou kept that ball alive, though, inside the penalty area.
He held his head in his hands, and now Gall again. This time curls it toward the goal line. Header attempt missed. Side volley out on top. And St. Louis will look to run it down. Ambersley to the right side. Gall is there. Bounced up on him. Sends a laser into the area, but knocked away. Takata tries to keep it in a dangerous zone. Takata heads it in. Moving in. Musa. Can he settle a shot? Oh, just over the crossbar. As that ball bounced up, he tried that front volley, and Bill inches over the crossbar.
Good work initially by Takata to keep this ball alive. It bounces into the penalty area, and James Musa with the shot just over the top of the crossbar. The eventual end of that play. Good work by several players from St. Louis FC to keep this ball alive inside the penalty area. Musa still up from the prior corner kick.
What I liked was the fact that there was no concession. The ball had come out toward midfield, and rather sort of reload, everyone stayed forward and tried to attack.
Stay forward, keep the ball inside the penalty area. Ambersley realized that. He sent it over to the right flank, and it came back in.
Battled for in midfield. Montreal brings it back. Bibbs races back to control. Goes over the end line and out of play off of Montreal, and St. Louis will get it back.
Again, nice work by Nick Bibbs, who's doing a wonderful job tonight at right bank. Real athletic presence from Nick Bibbs, and we've seen that from him in his play ever since training started way back. way back, Bob, believe it or not, on February 16th.
Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers for the best selection in price and quality brand name tires and the best in expert auto service for convenience and value. Get into Dobbs. Patrick Duty to the midfield with Bouchou. Wanted Bibbs to come forward, and he does. Nick is there, has played well. Bouchou and Bibbs. Gall tried to flip it to him, couldn't get it there. Broken up by Montreal. Here they come. Oh, nice pass on the ground, direct, right-footed shot, right on, they score from outside the area. It never looked innocent, but a quick shot to the near lower corner, and Montreal goes on top.
The reason they go on top, not just the ability of number 47, Jacques Caman, the Cameroonian, but as quickly as they got that ball at midfield, they turned that into the attack. They got forward as quickly as possible. Here's the ball on the ground from Jacques Caman from well outside the penalty area. Perhaps it deflected off a defender, but it gets him behind Alec Can for a 1-0 lead for, yes, indeed, it did deflect off that last defender. Looks to be number 14, James Moussa, deflects off of Moussa in behind Alec Can, but good work nonetheless by this man, number 47, Jacques Caman, playing in just his second game for FC Montreal, a talented Cameroonian.
Lightning quick, and he kept it low.
But the key for it was FC Montreal immediately going into the attack when they won the ball in a dangerous spot on the field.
In the 53rd minute, Montreal takes the lead 1-0. St. Louis again playing catch-up at home in front of their biggest crowd of the season. Over 5,000 on hand, Bill.
Tremendous environment here at Worldwide Technology Soccer Park. Jeremy Alamaw, Jim Cavanaugh, Tom Strunk, everybody. They've said it from the very first day. Make every home game an event. And that's exactly what happens here.
St. Louis and Gall. Sends one on. Running on Ambersley. Can he beat the keeper? No.
It's good refereeing. Elvis Mamutovic. He saw that play late. Foul whistled up against number 67, Frederic Lajoie-Gravel. Free kick for St. Louis FC, no doubt to be flatted by number 8, Brian Gall. He'll just send this up in the penalty area, looking for a read of action. Possibly someone to knot it down for a second ball. Someone can run on to it.
Drives with the left foot into the penalty area. A header high in the air and over the crossbar. The midfield actually made something happen.
Dangerous ball flatted in by number 8. Brian Gall rising to meet it is Sam Fink. Always anxious to join any kind of an aerial battle. Number 3, Fink, up from center back.
Paulman drives it to midfield. Here comes Montreal again. They now have the lead they need. Come on. We've called his name quite a bit. He and Regi and Grant have really starred tonight here in St. Louis.
Yeah, they really get into the attack as quickly as possible, Bob. This FC Montreal team, we mentioned, they have been red hot, playing before huge crowds. They tied Charlton. They're back on August 1st, 5,600 there. They beat Louisville this past Wednesday, 6,800 there. And a record crowd here tonight at St. Louis at Worldwide Technology Soccer Park.
And they'd been scoring so much, you kind of thought coming into the second half, you'd held them down, that maybe, the worm had turned a little bit and you were onto something, but they strike first here in the second half, 1-0.
It's because of that on offense, they really got into it as quickly as possible. Teams like this, even though they're young, when they win the ball in a dangerous position on the field, they have the scent for the goal. They immediately got into the offense.
Under control again. Charbonneau. Taken away by St. Louis. Marr with Takata. Drops it back for Duty. Duty and Kentaro Takata. Takata sends one forward, way too far for Ambersley or Roberts to run under. No chance.
A little too direct there from Takata, and that's the kind of play, Bob, when you want Ambersley to go long, and Jordan Roberts to stop short and slow so you can play the ball on the ground at his feet, or vice versa. Don't have two players running into the penalty area for a flighted ball.
Bibbs on the throw-in for Ambersley. Boy, that kept their defense shaped up nicely, meaning Montreal. Not many breakdowns. Takata in the middle.
This is probably going to be a card to number 15.
Ooh.
Yeah. Marco Dominguez, late tackle against number 15, Mike Ambersley. Elvis Mamatovic, the referee in charge tonight, gives that yellow to Marco Dominguez.
St. Louis-based Worldwide Technologies, a proud supporter of St. Louis FC, recognized by Fortune magazine. It's one of the 100 best places to work 4 years in a row. Worldwide Technology understands that with the right culture and teamwork, great things happen.
So Jacques Caman in just his second game with FC Montreal. Gets his second goal. He scored on Wednesday night against Louisville. Coming off for Jordan Roberts is number 7, Jameel Hardware. Dale Shilley told me that this might be one of the first changes made, so indeed that's accurate. Jameel Hardware comes on. Perhaps Mike Ambersley will move up top tonight, and playing from behind will be number 7, Jameel Hardware.
Headed into the area right on, but not enough steam on it, which almost made it even more dangerous. And Holman was able to come out and make the play.
Yeah, sometimes a ball like that, Sam Fink tried to knot it down into the penalty area so that maybe somebody could run onto it.
A little bit of an off-speed pitch.
Yeah, long flighted ball. Fink, as I mentioned, always anxious to get up and join any kind of an aerial challenge.
Oh, nice play. First touch by Hardware. Gets it to the wing. And then back through the middle for Takata. Kentaro sends it long, but it's going to be too long for Parker Marr. Last couple of passes from Takata have been a little too ambitious.
A little bit too hard. Up in the air, bouncing. If you play it on the ground, you're in business. You can continue the attack.
1-0 our score here. Montreal leads St. Louis. Send it forward, settled nicely, but he inadvertently boots it out of bounds. Tried to make a little give and go connection on that play, but it was knocked away.
But Jacques Caman, he plays well with his back to goal, plays well running at people. The goal, case in point, and he gets away from the defender by going either on the right or left flank, not just staying centrally.
Bourgeois Gravel got it forward. They try to set up Rigi. Back for Haman, left-footed shot, curled right on, and Alec Ken was able to make the save, well-sided.
I think Haman was trying to curl that over to the player coming in off the left flank there.
Takata, he lost it, and then was able to recover while prone. But Montreal brings it back. Swinging it left, Secunda. Tried to step through, could not. Montreal starting to carry the play now here in the second half. Back up top, curled in, header attempt just wide. Oh, what a beautiful setup. A dangerous play and a beautiful head ball. Snapping it on was Charbonneau.
FC Montreal doing a nice job keeping the ball and the pressure on St. Louis FC. Nicely flighted by Charbonneau into Frederic Lajoie-Gravel. Lajoie-Gravel battling Sam Fink. Remember these two teams, Bob? They met way back on July 15th. Montreal winning that game by a score of 5-2. In that particular game, Jeremy Lynch had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, couldn't capitalize. That was in the first 20 minutes of the game. Dale Shilley told me that the St. Louis FC team had legitimate chances, 4 or 5, before FC Montreal even crossed the center line.
Duty now. Tried to send one in on a cross, but that was not the way. Well done jumping into the flight of that pass was Bringolf. St. Louis will throw it in.
And FC Montreal, what they continue to do, Bob, is continue the academy system. Just on July 30th of this year, they signed 8 more players to come up from the under-18 academy. Former St. Louis University player on loan from the Chicago Fires, number 27, Kingsley Bryce. See if he can make something happen in and around the penalty area. Comfortable running at people. Good speed possessed by number 27, Kingsley Bryce.
MLS has had a look at him this year.
Mm-hmm. Player on loan from the Chicago Fire, as is Alec Cand and Patrick Duty for St. Louis FC. Quite a few of these players on loan from the Montreal Impact to FC Montreal. We mentioned that Didier Drogba signed with the Impact just last week. Maybe I'm told plays this week, not this weekend.
Hardware tried to get it forward, couldn't. Counter-attack. Bibbs played very well tonight, and it goes back. Prevents the offensive player from catching up. Nick's played very well tonight.
Yes, he has. He hasn't allowed Rigi to get it behind him too much. Now, Rigi is very comfortable coming in off that left flank into the central part of the field to take shots or work 1-2s at the feet of number 47, Jacques Hamann.
Coming into the game, you've seen Ike Sliman, number 57. And he'll be replacing the aforementioned Alessandro Rigi. Now, we have not seen Ike Sliman, but I feel good getting Rigi out of there.
He's been troublesome all night long. Yet another young player, just 20 years of age, is number 57, Yassine Ike Sliman. Played with the Impact, the Montreal Impact from 2012 to 15. Played with the under-23s likewise with the Impact.
Nick Bibbs went back to keep the defender away from that errant pass. He recovers, and on the throw-in, tried to get it to Hardware, and then Bibbs sends it forward again for Ambersley. Couldn't keep up with it. And back through the middle they come. St. Louis has not had as many controlled attacks in the last 10 minutes or so. Takata drops it back for Quintaro, and then Hardware along with Bryce, but they can't control through the midfield, and here comes Montreal. Nice long run through the middle, poke forward, lost. Slide tackle knocks it away. Musa saved the day, perhaps, or for a moment. Again, Montreal on the attack. Here they come. Charbonneau, far side, got it through, and a dangerous play, beautifully timed by Alec Can on his jump.
Perfect goalkeeping by Alec Can. Immediately, as soon as the ball is flighted, he comes over to cut that ball out.
Kingsley Bryce drilled up the sideline while he was on the run.
Yeah, Lapare with that foul against Kingsley Bryce. Good sliding tackle as James Musa and Sam Fink continue to do the job centrally for St. Louis FC.
Trailing 1-0 here in the 65th minute is St. Louis. Bibbs trying to create from way out. Drives it into the area, header in the air, anybody's chance, still loose, and a little forward volley, front volley by Hardware over the top and out of play.
Those are dangerous when they're headed out, but not totally clear. The end result of that is the following. Somebody runs onto the second ball, and it's Jameel Hardware. Just didn't quite wait for it to come down far enough. Number 7, Hardware, who just entered the game moments ago, alongside of Kentaro Takata, who's the team captain for FC Montreal. Lapare, who is very active inside the center circle, anywhere at midfield. Really continues the attack for FC Montreal.
And a little bit of a late whistle. His bodies fly. St. Louis will get it back. Bouchou gave up the body to make the play. Musa. Far side for Bryce. And Bibbs sends it through. Can Nick run it down in time? Curled back on top. Oh, they fanned on the shot. Out on top. A blast through the middle. Bouncing ball saved by Paul Mann.
Jameel Hardware just outside the penalty area. The ball falls for Ambersley with his back to play. Lays it off so Jameel Hardware can hit it first time. Bibbs runs onto this ball, played to him by Bryce. Falls for Ambersley, knocks it back. Hardware hits it first time, deflects right into the hands of the goalkeeper, Paul in.
St. Louis trying to get the offense going. Patrick Duty has it on the left sideline toward the near corner. Curls one back through the middle, too far for Takata. Kantaro will run it down over on the far sideline, but he can't. And we have somebody down. Is that Bryce?
I believe Kingsley is over on the far side of the field. That is Nick Bibbs, I believe.
Bibbs. Oh, he made that long run. Hope that's not a hammy or something, because, I mean, he had to go full out to catch up to that ball on the inline.
He worked the 1-2 with Kingsley. Bryce did Nick Bibbs. Seems to be holding his wrist. Let's see if he falls awkwardly after he gets this ball over. Perhaps he did number 13, Nick Bibbs, after sending this ball over.
Siasulka's going to come into the game, Bill.
Siasulka, who last weekend against the Red Bulls comes on as a late change for St. Louis FC and gets an equalizer on his first touch of the ball. So Siasulka enters for number 10, Kentaro Takata.
G&W Meat and Bavarian Style Sausage Company is proud to be the official brand of St. Louis FC. Celebrating 50 years as a family-owned St. Louis tradition, you can't beat G&W Meat.
So Siasulka comes on for Kentaro Takata. Siasulka will be playing right in front of those back four defenders. I'd like to ask you again, are you interested in a refreshingly different banking alternative here in the St. Louis market? Well, then welcome to the world of Triad Banking. Your business, your family, your bank, triadbanking.com.
Great crowd, as we mentioned, on hand tonight. Jim Ewer, did we get the official number? 5,321, a new record set here at Worldwide Technology Soccer Park, Marshall Wireless Stadium. What I love, Bill, and I mention it every game because it's so impressive, that there's something for everybody. You want to go nuts? St. Louligans are there for you. You want to enjoy the beer garden? It's there, undercover. Beautiful time. That's where the German-American band was tonight. And there are seats and bleachers for everybody else, and families and kids and soccer clubs. There's a long run and a curled shot sent wide. And it is an event, as you pointed out, Bill, each and every night.
Every game is an event. Come out, be entertained, watch some good soccer. And somewhere along the line, the home team is going to get a win here, Bob. They're going to get 3 points somewhere along the line. I don't know, and there's not too many games left. Next home match is Thursday night, August 20th against Charleston. They then conclude with 2 home games, September 12th against Charlotte, and then September 19th against Louisville City. They began with Louisville City on March 28th, and they'll conclude their expansion year with that same club on September 19th here at Worldwide Technology Soccer Park.
Patrick Duty battling, got caught in a double team. Moose is there to hold off the offensive player. Owen Can was put in an untenable position and almost had one backfire on St. Louis there as Bouchou tries to get through midfield, and he does. Sends it forward for Brian Gall, but way too far.
Good work by Jacob Bouchou. Get his head up, look, try to play as James Musa let this ball run for Alec Can. He flights it, almost knocked into the goal by Marco Dominguez, but if Bouchou gets the ball on the ground for Gall, you can continue the attack.
Come on. Tried to put pressure on, but Alec Can got it forward, and now Ambersley has it. Mike curls through traffic, sends it to the right side for Hardware. Knocked away. Now it's Siasulka in the midfield. Bibbs tried to send it back through, looking for Kingsley Bryce, but it was knocked away out of play, and St. Louis will get it on the sideline.
Good work by Kingsley Bryce to make Jonathan Grant play. Gave it away coming out of his backfield.
Bryce Now curled back to the top of the area. Hardware's there. Oh, he looked to settle. Wanted his left foot, tried it, got blocked. Tried his right foot. A shot right on, and the save made. Right place at the right time for Paul Min. I don't know if he ever saw it until it was on him.
I think he saw it late, Bob, but Jameel Hardware, again, good work this time just at the tip of the penalty area arc. Keeping everything alive is Jameel Hardware. On the initial shot, it deflects, falls right to his feet again. Gets it on his more comfortable left foot. And our right foot on the next particular play. Good shots on goal from number 7, Jameel Hardware.
Trailing 1-0 is St. Louis in the 73rd minute here at home.
Goal scored very nicely by the visiting team, FC Montreal, by number 47, Jacques Coman, who's been very troublesome all night long against the St. Louis FC defense. Either showing, having the ball played at his feet, or long balls like this over the top.
Oh, little shove in the back. Loose in front, sets up the shot, wants the left foot, blocked by Musa. Oh, that was scary, Bill.
Jacques Coman again putting himself in dangerous positions.
Once he set up that left foot, I was back on my heels, but fortunately Musa was not.
He's comfortable with the ball coming to him at speed. He deadens it, he receives, turns nicely, can shoot from distance, he can run at people.
Musa takes a shove in the back, tried to plead a case, it goes out, and he'll give him the ball, splitting the difference.
Number 47, Jacques Coman, again battling number 14, James Musa. Ball's on the ground, received, put over to his left foot by number 47, Jacques Coman. The eventual shot blocked by Musa. So many of these Cameroonian players trying to recapture the glory from the 1990 Cameroonian team, who shocked the World Cup by defeating the then World Cup champion Argentinians in the first game of the 1990 World Cup. Francois Omambiek doing the damage for Cameroon then. Another change for FC Montreal.
Masudi, Zakaria Masudi.
Masudi comes on for number 50, Marco Dominguez,
who has been very good tonight. Gall for St. Louis. Ambersley sends it forward for Bibbs. Nick been very good on the right flank all night. Now he sends one into the area, looking for Hardware, battling there, and they have to boot it out of play. Jameel Hardware was really putting the pressure on.
Make that last defender play. If you can do nothing else, if you can't get the ball, you can't receive and turn, make him play.
Jameel again, Hardware gives it up. Duty's there. Siasolka battles through one defender in a second, but the third put the stops on that play. Here comes Montreal. Up the right side and on the run, Masudi just into the game. Has to give it up, but his defense is there for him. They bring it back, cutting to the middle, nicely done. And a whistle, climbed up the back of Musa. St. Louis plays it. Duty again for St. Louis. Patrick, long curling ball, looking for Kingsley Bryce, but it was broken up. Send it back for Charbonneau. Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers for the best selection and price. Quality brand name tires and the best in expert auto service for convenience and value. Get into Dobbs.
Another change for FC Montreal. The guy who's been doing all the damage, the goal scorer. Jacques Coman exits, entering as number 45, Victor Diaye. Another young player. That's the theme, the overall theme of FC Montreal and the whole academy system. Youth, youth, youth.
Hushu and Gall. Gall spins away from a defender and gets it up top, finds the open man, Siasolka, right side Nick Bibbs, running up from the right flank, Bibbs in the corner. Bibbs takes on one defender, looks for a second, then gives it up out top. A shot high in the air, looking for the header, over the top, out of play. St. Louis wanted a foul, but I think that was good aggressive goalkeeping by Paul Min.
Nicely flighted by Mike Ambersley, looking for number 8, Brian Gall, just at the tip of the penalty area. Curls into the penalty area spot, just beyond the 6. Paul Min knew what he had to do, come out and try attempt the punch clearance. If view he gets from that cross ball, looking for number 8, Brian Gall. He has 4 goals and 2 assists for St. Louis FC so far in this 2015 expansion season.
Into the 77th minute, still 1-0 Montreal. Both teams putting lots of fresh legs in. And Montreal getting ready to check in. For Montreal. Beta Sports has 6 locations in the metro area, offering indoor and outdoor adult soccer leagues with men's, co-ed, and women's division. Register a team or sign up for a house team. Details at betasports.com. Get your friends together and play soccer. Coming out of the match is Secunda. He's played well tonight.
Yes, he has been up and back. He gets forward, as does all these youthful players. Coming out of the backfield, coming up from midfield, joining the 3 forwards. Aaron Montreal, number 59, entering the game for FC Montreal.
St. Louis putting some speed on. Jameel Hardware flies past 2 defenders and then it's booted out of play.
Good running there, Bob, on that right flank. Good turn of speed from Kingsley Bryce, who just entered the match a moment ago.
St. Louis needs something right here in the 78th minute, 79th minute now. Gall out of the right corner. St. Louis goes perpendicular from the goal line.
Yeah, you're at the stage of the season, Bob, where you've got to get some kind of a point in every game you play.
Curled to the middle, high in the air. Header attempt, loose on the ground and out.
Looking for Sam Fink, Brian Gall, James Musa, anybody who comes forward, perhaps Kingsley Bryce. Another corner kick from the other side of the field, this time from the left wing.
This will be Ambersley.
This will be curled in towards the goalkeeper.
Now they're horizontal to the goal line. Header, attack, punched out. Recovered Hardware. 1 man to beat. Can't set up the left foot. Looked for the pass on the wing, but the defenders in a pincer movement jumped all over him. Now curled back into the area. Oh, St. Louis is looking to run on there. I think it was Gall.
And who was it again, Bob? Number 52, Jonathan Grant, again with the headed clearance.
Or rather, Fink was the one running on. Gall sends one in again. Can't get there. Bibbs tried to get in, and it's knocked away over the end line, and it'll go back to Montreal as we get into the 80th minute.
Not for lack of effort by St. Louis FC. Ball curled in from number 15, Mike Ambersley. Jonathan Grant again with the headed clearance. Totally off balance, but nonetheless makes a wonderful play with that headed clearance. Number 52, Jonathan Grant from Pickering, Canada. Play with Canada's under-22 squad.
David Palmin, the keeper. He's been good tonight. That distribution headed away, and St. Louis trying to force the issue. Ambersley has to curl back and up the right side. He has Jameel Hardware, who's already shown some great speed tonight. Caught in a double team on the right side. Curls through it, now it's a triple team. Still trying to possess the ball, finally taken away. He couldn't find a teammate. They lose it in the midfield though, and St. Louis gets it back. Fink is there. Side of the foot pass moved forward and then cleared. And looking for a man to run on. Moose is going to break it up. They tried to find DA. Send it back to Alec Can. He wants Patrick Duty up the left side now. Patrick forward for Gall. Brian holds off. Oh, a little give and go for Duty, but it got between his feet and out of play. More changes as Morelli will check in. Fabio Morelli for Montreal.
Morelli enters.
Substitution for Montreal.
Originally from Switzerland, he was born there, as a matter of fact. 7 years there in their academy system. Joined the Montreal Academy in 2013.
Oh, and a yellow card for Brian Gall as he sort of finished his check.
Number 8, Brian Gall. 1 foul, 2 fouls, and a 3rd foul gets you a yellow. And that was a rude welcome to the game for number 72, Fabio Morelli. Rangel has been very active on the left and right flanks tonight for St. Louis FC, striking some good dead balls in the process.
Masudi sends it through, and they'll send it back. Ringolf as they curl it back through the middle. Bibbs, who's been terrific tonight, fights off a couple of offensive players. Tries to clear, couldn't get it out. Montreal controls in the 82nd minute, leading 1-0. Ringolf back across midfield. They want to drive one deep, looking to run on. Alec Can comes off his line and makes a nice play on a bouncing ball.
As he had to, the second bounce in the penalty area, anytime, anywhere, is going to be troublesome. Cut it out nicely.
Morelli, the Swiss player.
Coming in at the right flank for FC Montreal.
St. Louis trying to be aggressive, but those long flighted balls keep getting picked off, and now Montreal brings it back again. Up the left flank this time. Masudi drops it back. Wisely possessing the ball.
Positively, and this is how you kill the game off. At home or on the road, you kill it off just like this.
Charbonneau, Ringolf. A little more aggressive, getting it forward. Belangoyet sent it forward, has a man, moves in, wants the shot. Oh, a little slide tackle, late knocked it away. Sam Fink may have saved one there.
Good defending again by Sam Fink, who's absolutely, totally drenched. Blatant evidence of his work rate. Gets that last touch, gives up a corner. However, the next touch was going to be a shot by Aaron Montigalpa.
Is DA going to take the corner kick out of the right corner? Let's see. They're just going to possess. And we got a whistle, and we got a yellow card coming out.
Yeah, for time wasting.
Yep.
Yeah, this is not the way you kill off a game. Teams attempt to do this, but referees are really wise to it. So Victor Di, Bobby O'Morelli.
Now they'll bring it in. Gagnon Lapierre had it taken away by Hardware, but he made a move and forgot the ball. Now they bring it into the area again. Loose in front, a shot, they score! Too many people, too many St. Louis players trying to get forward. A miscue just outside the area, and Montreal makes them pay.
And Fabio O'Morelli with one of his absolute first touches after just entering the game for FC Montreal, puts his team up by a score of 2-0 in this, the 85th minute. Good, quick attacking again by FC Montreal.
Real quick passing, very patient.
On the ground, to people's feet. You can play 1 and 2 touch that way. Number 45, DI starts it sideways to Morelli in a tight situation. Alec Can has to come off his goal line to attempt to cut it out. He does just that. The end result, a goal for Fabio Morelli. It is now 2-0 for visiting FC Montreal.
And Jameel Hardware just trying to get forward and just made one move too many, and the ball got away from him, and it results in a goal. It's a shame because he was trying to make things happen all night once he came into the match. That's tough, as it's now 2-0 Montreal. And they bring it back again. Duty breaks it up.
Pete Kelly, who just entered the match for St. Louis FC.
Peter Kelly, we haven't seen a lot of him.
And in and out of the lineup. One start so far this year for St. Louis FC.
Duty runs through a man here in the 86th minute. Send it in deep for Masudi. Masudi along the end line. They let it roll out, and St. Louis will get it back. Hey, St. Louis-based Worldwide Technology is a proud supporter of St. Louis FC, recognized by Fortune magazine as one of the best places to work. Worldwide Technology understands that the right culture and teamwork, great things happen. Also, don't forget about our great sponsors, Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, for the best selection and price and quality brand name tires, and the best in expert auto service for convenience and value. Get into Dobbs. Duty goes back for St. Louis to haul it in. Up the left side. Too much for Kelly. They boot it back in, and now on a run. A man got open, in on goal. Slide tackle, still on his feet. He scores. 3-0 Montreal. Alec Can came out to make the slide tackle. He made the initial play, Bill, but staying on his feet and staying with it was Ike Sliman. Ike Sliman just stayed with it, stayed on his feet, and kept moving forward.
This ball sent forward. Ike Sliman, yet another late addition for FC Montreal, scores a third. And if you're trying to get back into the game, those are killers. That's an unforgivable goal.
Well, certainly the second two goals on counterattacks, on mistakes, and
yeah, that last one, that third one, that cannot happen.
Kingsley Bryce trying to come in and make something happen, but nobody's been able to get him the ball in a dangerous position.
He's used his speed once or twice, has Kingsley Bryce, to try to do something on that right flank. Take people on, get it into the penalty area.
Curled in, a shot, they score! A header! Out of nowhere! It came out of that right corner, into traffic, and St. Louis scores. It happened so quickly, Bill, I didn't get a number.
Now there's Bob. There is absolutely the scenario where that third goal looms so large. Now the referee takes the ball out of the back of the goal because there was a little mix-up, but here's the flighted cross. Bouchou up forward, Peter Kelly up forward, and there is Jameel Hardware, who gets it in behind the goalkeeper, who has been playing well so far this evening, number 70, David Palmin, to make it 3-1.
And I think simply out of the corner, the quickness to get it in, and it did not allow for the first time all night FC Montreal.
Now,
didn't allow the defense to set up because they had been really in great shape all night defensively.
Now, it's very simple now. If you lose 12-1, it doesn't make any difference. Get everybody forward, get balls into the penalty area, take shots, try to win dead balls, get restarts.
In the 89th minute, Hardware scores. Got to get the ball back and get shots. Little behind the back pass. Directed with a shoulder, broken up by Musa. Sends it forward, wants Hardware, couldn't get it there. Now Ambersley tried to move it left. It's booted out of play, and St. Louis will get it back on the sideline. That one's sent into the crowd. In the 90th minute now, Duty will throw it in, and there will be 4 minutes.
A minimum of 4 minutes. There's been quite a few changes in this second half, as you pointed out, Bob.
Yep. A couple of injuries. So 4 minutes now. St. Louis down a couple. Musa. Parker Marr has a man on. Tripped up in the penalty area. They play on.
That was a wonderful tackle again by the last 2-3 defenders for FC Montreal. Been doing a great job inside the penalty area.
And then Nick Bibbs with a great slide tackle to get the ball right back.
Continue a pressure by St. Louis FC.
Get a corner kick.
Try to make something out of this.
Ambersley out of the right corner now. Kingsley Bryce with his height. In the goal area. They send it for him. Headed up top. Oh, and the header just goes high and wide.
Sam Fink battling the team captain. Jeremy Lapada just couldn't quite get on top of it. Got over it. won the challenge, couldn't get it on goal from number 3, Sam Fink. Nicely flooded from the right flank, right into the penalty area, away from the goalkeeper.
He boots it across midfield now. St. Louis desperate to get it back, get more offensive attempts. Headed on, looking to run on. Kingsley Bryce beats his man, but it was tripped up and he went down hard. Did he get kicked in the back of the leg? He's down. No time now to nurse an injury. Got to get up and play. Look at Nick Bibbs battling in midfield. What a night he's had.
Nick Bibbs tackling like the game just started.
Really battling hard, and now some shoving going on, and a man thrown down, and this one's getting out of control.
Let's see how the referee sorts this out, because there could be numerous players sent off. Let's see what Elvis
we got a fight.
Mamutovic.
We have a fight on the far side. Oh, and there's a punch from Musa. And a man goes down.
This is
either Musa turned into Clubber Lang, or that guy's got a glass jaw.
There's the shots. 19 for St. Louis FC, 12 for Montreal.
Are you counting Musa's last shot right there?
I missed that.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps that counted for double, but nonetheless, the shots on goal. Both goalkeepers had an excellent evening so far. Alec could do nothing about the first two. The third goal, well, that looms largest right now.
Now Mick's going to have to come out and cut his guy because he took a shot.
So entering now and coming on is Burgess Meredith.
Cut me, Mick. Well,
that's...
If I can speak for all typical St. Louisans, you may lose the game, but you're going to win the fight.
Well, and that's absolute frustration from losing perhaps yet another home game. It crept into this game very late. Nick Bibbs, who's had a fabulous game over there at right back, giving as well as taking.
We'll see how they want to sort it out.
It's part of the 5,321 still remaining on hand. Some players being sent off.
Yep.
Looks to be number 14, James Musa.
With the straight right hand.
Who was going to miss a game the next time he got a yellow card anyway. Somebody has to come off for FC. Oh, for sure. If Musa's going, somebody from FC Montreal positively has to go.
James really played well tonight. All kidding aside from the fight, he played very, very well tonight.
And yet another red card being issued to
Nick Bibbs.
Nick Bibbs.
Ooh, that's a shame because he's been brilliant.
He's gone. Moose is gone. And Aaron Mukungilwa is gone for FC Montreal.
Bibbs was in I believe, the initial altercation.
I believe so.
Threw the Montreal player to the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the scrum developed, Moose went in and took his shot.
That's when it all began. So two players being sent off. And they will not. Now it looks to be Jacob Bouchou.
Really?
Who's been given his marching orders along with Nick Bibbs and our James Musa. We'll find out here in a second.
Yeah, Bibbs for sure. And Bouchou just walked under our booth.
James Musa still seems to be on the field. Yeah, indeed he is.
Oh. So
now everybody just going forward into the penalty area, which is the obvious thing to do. Alec can't just send it forward, get it into the penalty area.
Driven forward, the keeper comes out, double punch, knocks it out of there.
We get into the 96. There were a minimum of 4 minutes of added time.
St. Louis FC's number 17, Jacob Bouchou, and number 13, Nick Bibbs, and second half stoppage time.
So Bouchou and Bibbs, two constants, two first 11 players. They won't be playing in the next game, which is at Charleston next weekend, August 15th at Charleston.
Montreal up the left side, leading 3-1. Knocked away. Sam Fink Now that'll be a throw in on the left side in the offensive third for Montreal.
So after tonight, St. Louis plays at Charleston, at Richmond, at Rochester, at Harrisburg. 3 home games remaining. Next of which is Thursday night, August 20th against Charleston. They conclude September 12th with Charlotte, September 19th with Louisville City.
Come on, have a great time like this crowd tonight. Record-setting crowd, 5,200 plus. St. Louis sends the ball through the midfield, and that'll wrap it up. 3-1, the final score. Well, Bill, this is certainly not what anyone with St. Louis FC certainly wanted. And while there were some fireworks with a late goal by St. Louis and some extracurricular activities, it wasn't what you want. You need to create a tough place to play for the opposition at home, and St. Louis just has not been able to duplicate their efforts on the road here on their home pitch. It's very strange.
Very strange, Bob. Well, it's a quandary for everyone watching this team, following this team. So they have a home record now of 1-6-4. And that just doesn't translate to all the people coming out and giving the support. But Dale Schilly is determined to find the solutions to this lack of winning and getting points at home. They go on the road, as we mentioned, where they are 4-3-3. But at this stage of the season, as I pointed out during the second half, you have to get points. Some kind of configuration, 3 points ideally, somewhere along the line here from almost every game you play, because the games remaining now, all 7, are against teams who are immediately in front of you in this Eastern Conference.
It's so strange, the home-road splits, because if you just looked at the road split, you'd say, hey, this team, they've got a shot because they're playing great on the road, but then the homes, it's almost reversed what you would think, and it's I know it's driving Coach Schilly crazy that he just can't get the same results or better results here at home.
And what is continued to be confounding, Bob, is that they have not, St. Louis FC, have not been able to find that guy who's comfortable inside the penalty area and are running at people as a dangerous forward. Case in point, number 47 tonight for FC Montreal, Jacques Hamann, who scored that very first goal.
Yeah, Hamann was very, very good, and some of the clubs we've seen here, and we see now why Montreal is scoring all these goals. It didn't happen until the second half, but their design and more importantly, Bill, their execution in the offensive third.
They immediately get forward.
Direct, and with lethal thought in mind. They don't play around. They go to score, and they don't mess around.
This is Fabio Morelli, who had just entered the game for FC Montreal. Good ball by Dia on the ground into the opposite side netting is Fabio Morelli. Good running. This play occurred late in the game. Yet another late addition to the team. Yassine Ali Slimane, he scores. This is the first goal, perhaps a token goal for Jamil Hardware. Gave the team some sign of a life, but the end result is 3-1 as the offensive firepower for FC Montreal. They did the damage quickly when they had the opportunity on dangerous areas of the field. Nice corner kick flatted over. Jamil Hardware, a late game addition, came in the second half, number 7 for St. Louis FC. He made it possible for the team to get back in it had they not given up that third unforgivable goal.
Well, folks, stick around. While it was 3-1 the final, there's a lot to talk about with our experts in the post-game show, led by Jim Hewer, and it's going to be an interesting one, trying to break this down, so stick with us for the next hour as we talk St. Louis FC soccer live from Worldwide Technology Soccer Park. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks on a Thursday night effort.
Thursday night, Charleston comes in town on Thursday night, August 20th.
We'll be here, back in the booth, bringing you action and hopefully a victory for St. Louis FC. For Bill McDermott, I'm Bob Ramsey. Jim Hewer and the boys are next on the Big 550 KTRS.